Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Millennial Rights. How did I get here? In this episode, we're diving into family, the cornerstone of my life and the foundation of the man I am today. I'll share how my family has shaped me, sharing every detail straight from the heart. No fabrications, no exaggerations. Are you ready to step into my world and explore the stories that make millennial rights? If so, buckle up. It's time to dive in. What I love most about my book, The Undoing of July Park, is the opportunity it gave me to explore my family's history. While much of the story is fictional, the heart of the characters is rooted in reality. It was fascinating to imagine my mom's life in Busan, South Korea, and delve into the dynamics of her family. My mom came from a large family, 6 children in total, and she was the middle child. Growing up, she had a love for adventure. Rain or shine, she was always active. But as her siblings grew older and began building their own lives, things changed. Slowly, the family drifted apart. Some of her siblings moved to Washington State from Korea, while my mom relocated to California with my dad. But family never forgets. When my mom packed up her bags and moved us out of Los Angeles to Washington, her brothers were there to help. Family is forever. They might judge, argue, bicker, or complain, but at the end of the day, family shows up when it matters. My mom's family played a big role in helping us get settled. If it weren't for them, we might have been lost. I can only imagine how different life would have been without their support. We might have stayed in Los Angeles or turned to my dad's family for help. Either way, I'm grateful for the strength and love that held us together during such a pivotal time. In episode 2, I shared my dad's background. Despite his challenging upbringing, his brothers and their children always showed love and care toward my mom, my brother, and me. They were aware of what was happening in our home, and I believe we could have found refuge with any of them if we needed to. I have love and appreciation for both sides of my family. My brother and I still keep in touch with our cousins in Los Angeles. We send birthday wishes, holiday greetings, and sometimes just chat about random things. In fact, just moments ago, I stepped away from this script to text one of my cousins in LA with the big news about my book launch on Amazon. Our family's story is interesting in its own right. Growing up, it was just my mom, my brother, and me in the house. We leaned on each other and had to look out for one another. When I started high school, my brother was entering middle school. By the time I graduated, I left for the Air Force, and he moved on to high school. Those years felt like some of the most pivotal moments in our lives, yet we couldn't always be there for each other in the ways we wanted. When I separated from the military, my brother had just graduated high school and was heading off to college. I returned home, but from that point forward, it felt like our brotherly bond began to slowly drift apart. We developed different interests, goals, and ambitions, and while life took us on separate paths, those shared memories and experiences still hold a special place in my heart. I'm not sure how my mom did it, but she was the glue that held us together, even as we grew older. She always emphasized the importance of family and the need to be there for each other, no matter how far life might take us. Thank you, Mom. Beyond my immediate family, I found family in unexpected places and through unexpected people. One of those places is the church. Church is like a second family, a community of believers who genuinely care for you. I've seen churches come together to pick up special offerings for someone in desperate need, show up to help pack boxes and move someone's belongings, and truly do life together. Leaving a church feels like leaving a family. Sure, you might find another church to call home, but the people you leave behind, they'll miss you. While I've experienced hurt from the church in the past, I've come to realize that family can hurt you too. Recently, I've had an awakening about my understanding of churches and church communities. I used to see them through narrow lens, filled with thoughts like, if I start attending here, they'll pressure me to get involved in the music ministry, so I better stay quiet. Or, I hope I don't get judged again. Everyone here already seems like they belong. Looking back, I realize now that my perspective was skewed. My understanding of family has deepened over time. When I look at my wife's family, they're far from perfect, but in the best way possible. They're perfectly not perfect. My wife is Hispanic, and I've noticed a lot of similarities between her family values and Korean family values. For instance, Korean families tend to stick to tight-knit circles and rarely venture beyond them. Hispanic families are much the same. They value close, familial bonds. My wife's parents, for example, are avid motorcyclists and belong to several motorcycle groups. By the way, that's another kind of family. Maybe one day, my wife and I will get our own motorcycle. And Keanu Reeves, if by some miracle you're listening, we'd love to join the Arch Motorcycle family. Every day, I learn something new about my wife's family. Just when I figured it all out, more pieces of the puzzle fall into place. The real question is, what do I do with all this knowledge about my family? From my own experience, the answer is clear. You try not to repeat the mistakes your parents made with you. Of course, I'm not perfect either. There are little quirks about me that my wife wishes I didn't have, like my habit of eating meals alone, not shopping with the 4-2 mindset, or not always doing activities together. Did I mention I'm an introvert? Yeah, most people are surprised when I tell them. Being public-facing every day can be incredibly draining for me. I need my own space and time to recharge. It's how I function best. No matter your upbringing, everyone has a family, whether it's the one you're born into or the one you create along the way. Some of you may not have had that traditional family experience. Maybe you were abandoned at an early age, lost your family in an accident, or grew up in the foster system. Speaking of which, I know a couple of amazing friends who are foster parents. They go above and beyond to make their foster children feel at home and truly part of their family. The truth is, we all come from somewhere, and we all have a family in some form. It could be found in a church community, a motorcycle group, a book club, a fitness class, or even in a foster home. That family, whatever shape it takes, it is your tight circle, the people who will stand by you when you need them most. My family, even with its quirks and dysfunction, is still my family, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. Thank you for tuning into my podcast. Want to connect with me on a deeper level? Here's your chance. By donating to support the podcast, you'll receive a signed copy of my book, The Undoing of July Park. A $25 donation gets you a signed paperback, and for $45, you'll receive a signed hardcover. This is my way of saying thank you for your incredible support. You'll find a donation link on your podcast platform, and I'll also include my PayPal information in the podcast description. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you'll join me again for more of Lineal Rights.